Welcome, everybody. Today, we have an insightful video for you to view. We're going to dive into our special guest's experience with training with EH2O and myself, Estephanie, and I am happy to introduce him. Rusty, did you want to say hello to our viewers and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. As Stephanie said here, my name's Rusty, fairly new to the marine financing game here. She's been a big help for me. A little bit of my background, I had a year in marine sales before this. I worked at another local marina, sold about 40 boats, maybe a little over that, all during COVID. So it was a crazy time to get started in the industry. Definitely learned a lot. Ended up getting a new opportunity about a little bit down the road for the financing side of it. I thought that seemed like an interesting fit. Very much an organizational procedure structure-based kind of person. It seemed like a really good fit for the job, so I was excited to get the opportunity.
Amazing. Well, I am just extremely excited about just your transformation within the role. You have done so great. And not only that, but the fact that you have leaders that support you in every decision you make and every process that you want to implement. I'm sure it really shows. And I mean, I'm witnessing how it shows your progress and just your success. So, but I'm excited to also hear from your perspective, so that our viewers can also hear it from your point of view and your personal experience. So my first question to you, Rusty, is, amongst all of the subjects that we covered, all of the items that we trained on, what are three that made a significant impact in your role as a business manager?
So between the classes and the 4 weekly coaching sessions I got to have with you, it's hard to just pick a couple, but I'd say the ones that stand out the most would be the process, the business manager roadmap. I think that was the biggest help for me, as well as just doing a deep dive on my lenders, making sure I have all the options that I should for different kinds of customers, and just kind of going through the whole menu presentation, making sure I have the right back-end products to offer and the best way to present it to my customers. I'd say those are the 3 that have made the biggest impact.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. And out of those 3, can you highlight your favorite and the most valuable one for you?
I would say it'd have to be the process, because whenever I was first getting started, I had a lot of new stuff coming on, just everything new that comes to starting a new job, just all the regular stress, and then trying to learn everything new on the fly. I had an idea of where I was starting, which was meeting a customer who wanted to purchase a boat. And I had an idea of where I wanted to end, which was getting the dealership funded, but everything in between was just I didn't really know what to do, what order to do it in, and it was just really stressing me out. But getting to sit down with you and going over the roadmap, it just made a world of difference for me. Over time, once I had that set process, I kind of knew what to expect. I was able to anticipate things, get ahead of problems before it happened. And I think it just overall made me feel confident a lot quicker. Being able to get the reps in, following the same process, getting to the finish line, knowing what to expect. I think it helped me reach that confidence a lot quicker. And once you get confident in your position, that's where you really kind of start to see the success come, because it's hard to be selling things whenever you're not really believing in yourself yet. And that roadmap really helped get me there.
Amazing. Are you still utilizing it today?
I am, yeah. I'm not studying it every single day like I was. It's no longer sitting on my desk, but yeah, I have it in my handy dandy binder here with EH2O. So
I love it. Look at you. That's great. That's great. Now, one of the things that I loved about our training sessions is just, we begin every call like this. We talk, we chat, we catch up, and we like to touch base on anything that is pressing at your desk or anything that you want to vent or request my opinion on or advice. But out of all of our laughs or moments of, oh my gosh, what do I do with this deal? Can you think of a memorable one that still stands out to you today?
yeah, I think it'd have to be that first official menu presentation I got to do, because I remember I had it on my radar for about a week before they came in, and I was spending about, I don't even know how much time, but I made tweak after tweak and change after change to my menu and kind of send it over to you to get your blessing, make little small changes here and there. And finally, I had like a finished product ready to present. And I got to sit down. My customers were buying a Bennington pontoon from us. They were going on a different lake pretty close to here, but they were pretty excited about the whole thing. I got to run through all my options for them and ended up selecting powertrain warranty, pontoon protection, a ceramic protection, and gap for their loan. So I had a home run deal there on my first time. And I think probably my favorite part of that whole story was I remember reaching out to you as soon as they left my desk with a big "let's go" in all capitals and probably like 8 O's in there. And whenever you
Yes.
replied, which was almost immediately, I think you were more excited than I was. And that meant a lot.
Oh, yes. Well, still till this day, look at the big smile that it puts on my face. And I'm just so proud of you for, trying to set it up the right way from the get-go. I know it was very nerve-wracking, but I'm happy to be able to be there with you. Even though we're miles away, just to help you properly present it and personalize it specific to that customer. The fact that you got that, I mean, I actually have it screenshotted because it was actually a very impactful moment for me as well. And I couldn't be more proud. Now, out of all of the processes that we talked about, the items that we've put in place, which has been a daily routine, well, now a routine that's become a daily routine that has had a very big impact, not only on you, but a positive impact on your sales team and your leadership team within your store?
So I would say there's kind of two main adjustments process wise. There was like a team wide process that made a big difference. And then there was some individual processes that I implemented for myself. As far as from the team standpoint, I thought it was really good to just be on the same page with your sales team. Service also, after working a couple of years in a dealership setting now, I can see that everyone's success is directly linked. If the sales team's doing well, selling boats, getting their business manager set up for success, they get to meet the customers, get their boat financed, get the boat protected. It ends up back in the service. Everything goes through well there, and the customer takes delivery of the boat, and they have a good experience with the dealership from start to finish. So a couple things that we've done there was we got some early introductions for me earlier on in the process by having me take the deposits from customers. Before that, we had someone else at the dealership doing it who does our registration, titling, and things like that. Making that change helped a lot. It got me those early intros. I was able to have more conversations with customers, and just getting those early touches makes a world of difference. Whenever you're trying to sell someone on multiple things and your first time meeting them when they're sitting down ready to go out on the boat with their family, you're just kind of working from a hole there. Whereas if you get those early touches, you get to talk to them a couple times throughout. They know who you are. You've built up some kind of trust and rapport with them. And you're no longer just someone blindsiding them on the opposite side of the desk trying to sell them on protection stuff. And that's made a big difference. And I think just kind of talking to the sales team every day, finding out what's on everybody's radar, who's coming in, what's going on the next couple of days, just staying in communication with everybody has made a world of difference there too. On the personal side, I would say there's a couple of things I've done just to make my job easier, kind of streamline things, make things more efficient. And that's just implementing certain tools. I have some email templates from you that have made my world a lot easier. I've heard a lot of good things on presenting terms, giving people actual options. I've heard some stories of previous experiences at different dealerships where they didn't get those options and they just kind of got pushed to go towards a certain bank because it made more sense for the dealership. And people really like the transparency there. It goes a long way. As well as the lender metrics you helped me get set up, which turned into a lender binder. And then that LTV calculator I made on Excel has made my life a lot easier also.
Yeah. And I love, one of the things that stand out to me about you is that I share a template with you. I share a process and you make it your own. You enhance it in your own way of being able to understand it the best way possible, because it is you that's utilizing it every day. And, when I see your final product, it's very impressive. And I can see how if I was in your chair, I would enjoy working on every single deal because of the processes that you've enhanced and put in place to make your job easier and more enjoyable. I love that. Now, thank you. And we've talked a lot about successes. We've talked a lot about your experience with specific topics and your one-on-one coaching with me, but the role definitely does come with challenges. Can you maybe share a little bit about a great challenge that you have ever had, and how did you overcome it? How did you make it into a success?
So I financed a little over 20 boats at this point, and I'm sure there's a lot of obstacles that come to mind for me. It might sound a little cheesy, but I think just getting started was probably the hardest part for me. So I started back in November at the end of last year. We had just recently had an ownership change. So I'm starting out to a brand new job, new company, new people, new boat lines from what I've sold in the past. And on top of everything else, now I'm redoing lender agreements for the 6 or 7 banks we already had set up, the 2 additional banks I would add down the road after speaking with you, learning how to navigate through the bank programs, how to get customers approved, how to get our dealership funded, how to make money along the way. And then the whole compliance side of it really kind of threw me for a loop there, trying to learn everything there. It was it was a lot. And there were definitely days where I think I doubted myself a little bit, wondering if I kind of bit off more than I could chew. But I think it's just important to have the attitude of you're not going to learn everything overnight. You're not going to become that expert in one day or one week. So I just started focusing on trying to get a little better each day and just trying to build off that momentum more or less. So I would kind of just focus one thing at a time, get a little bit better with that topic, move on to the next. And the best way to learn was definitely actually getting through the deals, because those are the lessons that stick out the most to me whenever I have a story in my head of, oh, I ran into this, this happened, this is how I fixed it, and now I just kind of know to avoid that problem altogether. But
Yeah.
I would say getting started was the hardest part, and I was lucky to have the team around me that I did here at Bills. They've been really supportive. They've let me really make the department my own with switching vendors to United States Warranty Corporation and Vantage, adding a couple banks that I thought seemed like a good fit. And I've really been able just to make the department my own, and seeing them set me up for success with you, getting the coaching sessions with you, and just the full vote of confidence from them and you really kind of helped get me here.
Yeah, well, we definitely need to give a shout out, not only to you and sharing your personal experience, how impactful the training sessions have been, and just your inspiring stories. It's definitely makes me very happy, but I also think, your leaders deserve a huge shout out, because without our leaders, without their support, we wouldn't be where we are today. But again, I thank you for trusting me in your growth. I look forward to continue to doing so, and also taking the time to share your insightful stories for our viewers to see. And, you may have some business managers that may want to call you directly and ask you some questions. So did you want to maybe share your contact information with them? Maybe just your email address or your phone number, in case they do, they can contact you directly?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or just want to share some stories. You can reach me at rusty@billsmarineservice.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rusty. Thank you very much to our viewers, and I hope you enjoyed this insightful conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.